Are you currently managing your diabetes with one of these? Thinking that if your numbers are in alignment that your doctor's looking for, that you're in a safe zone? Well, today I'm going to debunk all of that. You see, the reality is most people with type 2 diabetes believe that if their blood sugars are in range, that if their doctor is happy with their A1C, that everything's going to be okay. Unfortunately, the statistics are not showing that. We know individuals, even with an A1C in the sixes, even the low sixes, are still at a place where they can have complications. And what are these complications that are commonly associated? Things like heart attacks and strokes, kidney disease, neuropathies that can lead to amputations, vision loss, brain dysfunction, and a whole slew of other symptoms. So unfortunately, you have been lied to. The big lie is that you're being told that if by taking these medications, by keeping your blood sugars in a proper range, that you're safe and the risks of you developing these complications are not going to happen. Well, I'm here to tell you that is 1000% not true. We see this all the time in our practice where individuals have an A1C of a 6.1 or 6.2, 5.8, and they still have amputations. They still have neuropathies. They still have had multiple heart attacks, etc. So if you're in this mindset, please stay here. Make sure you watch this video because today I'm going to show you the reason why your diabetes is progressing is because you're not addressing the true underlying cause of why you have type 2 diabetes. You see, the medical industry wants you to understand that diabetes is from your blood sugars. That if you just keep your blood sugars in range by using monitors like this and saying, yeah, my blood sugars are in range, that you're okay. The reality is that is not any further from the truth. The simple truth is that your blood sugars are a symptom of your diabetes and not your cause. The real underlying cause of diabetes is a cellular disease, right? Our cells have the purpose of one thing, to allow sugars to enter into our cell from our bloodstream to give our body the function that it needs. Think about it this way. If you put gas into the gas tank of your car and it never reaches your engine, what's going to happen? Well, your car is not going to go very far. The same thing happens in your body. The difference is our fuel is glucose, right? We get that from our food that we consume. And the goal is to get that sugar from your bloodstream into your cells. Now, the difference between our body and your car is your car has one engine. Well, we have thousands, even millions of cells in our body. So it takes a certain amount of time when enough of those cells are damaged, i.e. the ability for you to get the sugars into your cells, that you start noticing a symptom. And what is that symptom? Well, if your sugars can't get into your cells after a certain period of time, where are those sugars going to go? Into your bloodstream. And they're going to start to build up higher and higher and higher. And then one day you go see your doctor and they say, you have type 2 diabetes. Change your diet, exercise, lose weight, and start using one of these guys to manage your sugars to make sure they're in a good alignment. The problem is this. Based upon this information I just told you, hopefully you're recognizing that that elevated sugar is a symptom of the problem. That problem is your cells. So something has triggered your body and caused your cells to break down. The unfortunate thing is in most medical models, they're not identifying and looking to see what that mechanism is. What they're typically looking at is what they can medicate you for, give you a pharmaceutical drug or tell you to exercise more, or lose more weight, or change your diet. And will all those things lower your sugars? 100% they will. But will they fix or create a solution to your diabetes? No. Because how are doing those things going to fix your cells? They're not, because whatever caused your cells to break down in the first place is still there. And here's the deal. If you want to learn more about what we do and how we help individuals with their diabetes, make sure you download my guide below because it's filled with information of what we do specifically and how you can start reversing your own diabetes. But when we understand this situation when we're dealing with diabetes, when we know it's a cellular disease process, it's very simple, guys. We have to identify what mechanisms or problems have broken down inside your body. Think about this. At one time in your life, you were able to eat what you wanted to eat, do what you wanted to do, and you woke up the next day and you had normal blood sugars. How do we know this? Because most people get regular blood checks and you would notice that there's a problem going on. So if at one time in your life you were able to do this on your own without any issues whatsoever, why can't you go back to that? Of course, you can go back to that, but you have to first identify what your problems are. You see, in my practice, when we do our comprehensive testing and identify what the underlying mechanism is or problems is for our patients, we typically find anywhere between 10 and 17 problems. But let's just say that you have 10 problems, and one of those problems is you need to eat better. So you start eating better. So now you've removed one of your problems, and now you have 9 problems. So now you say, okay, well, maybe I need to lose some weight. That's another problem. So now you've removed another problem. Now you have 8 problems. And the next one could be maybe you need to exercise more because you're not exercising enough. And so now you have 7 problems. So do you think that you can reverse diabetes if you still have 7 problems? No. And this is the reason why diabetes is called a progressive disease process. You may have heard that through the years of you dealing with diabetes. What does that mean? It means it's going to get worse no matter what you do. That's what progression means. And why is that the case? Because you're focusing on potentially 3 of the multiple other problems that are going on. You have to look at all the problems. This is where our comprehensive testing comes into place to identify the specific problems for you. But as I mentioned, most of our patients have anywhere between 10 and 17. The example I gave was 10. What if you have 17 problems and now you remove those first 3 and now you still have 14 problems that you need to deal with? This is a much bigger picture than just managing your sugars on a regular basis. You need to look at this from a different perspective. You need to understand what's really going on inside your body, and the only way to identify that is to be properly evaluated. Here's the deal. If you want to learn more about how we specifically analyze and the specific techniques that we use to address and help people reverse diabetes, make sure you watch this video here because I go into more in detail of specifically what needs to be done and how you can start to reverse your diabetes.